Boston, Massachusetts, New England in general have become the vanguard for clean energy, clean technology activism in this country. As in so many other things, you know, the U.S. Congress, I shouldn't be saying this morning, I guess, after the big healthcare breakthrough last night, but in many respects, the U.S. Congress is a lagging indicator of political and social change in America. We find that innovations tend to happen in the states and localities first and finally filter their way into Washington. And we see that happening now, particularly with energy and climate policy looking stalled now. We'll see if there's any effect in this healthcare vote on that. But let me start by just giving you a bit of background on Progressive Policy Institute. We're a think tank that's been in business for 20 years. We used to be known as Bill Clinton's Idea Mill, in our heyday when we were a purveyor of many of the ideas that were signature new Democrat ideas back in the 90s. But back around the mid-90s, we started our second generation environmental project, which was predicated on the idea that we faced a whole new set of environmental challenges that the first generation of environmental regulation, starting in around late 60s, early 70s, was ill-equipped to grapple with. And that led us in a lot of directions. It led us towards the idea of harnessing markets to allocate the cost of pollution control more efficiently, which led us to cap and trade. We were one of the first think tanks in Washington to embrace that idea. We helped design some of the early prototypes that Senator Lieberman and McCain embraced. You may remember the Lieberman-McCain bills. And many other directions as well. In recent years, we focused a lot on clean technology and clean energy as security and as economic job growing imperatives. And in the course of that work, we've gotten to know very well our good friend Bob Smith. And you can blame Bob for all this. It was really at his suggestion that we decided to reach out to various other folks who are in the room today and have a discussion on New England's leading role in the clean economy. Bob introduced us to the folks at Environment Northeast, Sam and Derek and Peter, the folks. Thanks for coming. They've all been contributors to PPI, have written excellent papers for us that have helped us understand the energy saving potential of investments in efficiency, and they've been indefatigable in pushing those views in Washington. Did a great piece for us on the lessons of RGGI for national policymakers. And in the course of talking with Bob and Sam and the crowd, we've just sort of become aware of how many public laws and policies have been passed in New England that are catalytic for the kinds of changes that you're all involved in. You know, there was RGGI, there was the Green Communities Act, Global Warming Solutions Act, Green Jobs. It's an incredible series of, I would argue, enlightened legislation that's helped catalyze the right kind of private sector investment. And you've got a great business community here that seems to have stepped up to the challenge rather than sort of pushing back and fighting these laws and mandates as we see down in our neck of the woods all too often. I'm struck by the fact that this efficiency push is so strong up here. I guess it's New England frugality is becoming back in vogue. And this is a theme that we have tried to raise in the debates in Washington. And the idea that you're trying to take your RGGI revenues for auctioning and plow that into efficiency investments and clean energy investments more generally is fundamentally the kind of paradigm that we've been pushing, this one-two punch, putting a price on carbon, using the proceeds to reduce the cost of clean fuels and to stimulate clean tech development. It may be that, for now, efficiency is, we'll have to lean heavily on the gains from efficiency if, in fact, the legislation is stalled in Washington on climate and energy. We'll see if that's the case. Things didn't look promising when I left Washington, but then healthcare reform didn't look promising about 3 months ago, after January, the Massachusetts elections. PPI has also launched its own clean tech project. It's called the E3 project. Mike Signer runs it. You're going to hear from him in a minute, so I'm not going to go into any greater detail here. But Bob also encouraged us to get acquainted with the Clean Energy Council, the New England Clean Energy Council. We're so happy to have Peter Rothstein and Nick Garbeloff here today. They're going to say a few words about the public-private partnerships, the new cluster that's emerging here, the Regional Innovation Cluster. I'm an old student and friend of Michael Porter, so this I think is really promising, and they've gotten us quite excited about this notion of getting some federal dollars for the creation of Regional Innovation Consortia, and the work that Mike's doing for the E3 project down in Maryland, Virginia, DC area. We really want to see if we can't play a catalytic role in getting the clean tech entrepreneurs and the venture capitalists and the energy companies and research institutes at all interested in sort of following the path that you're blazing here with the New England Clean Energy Council. Also very happy to welcome the Progressive Business Leaders Network with Andy Tarsi, Executive Director, and the Clean Energy Network as well. Our purpose, and of course, many thanks to Ian Bowles for taking time from his busy schedule to come and sort of be our keynote speaker here, and thanks to Commissioner Phil Giudici for coming as well. So, without much further ado, let me just say that our purpose today is to distill lessons for national policymakers from what you were doing here. PPI has been, I think, has built a pretty good track record over the years as being a conduit of ideas to pragmatic elected officials, not the dogmatic variety, but the pragmatic variety that really want to solve problems. They're always looking for issues, and we've done a pretty good job of trying to meet that need with innovation. And we pushed ideas, charter schools, national service, community policing in the past. We have a good record of translating those ideas into policy and legal reality in this country. And what's striking about them all is that none of them were hatched in Washington think tanks. They all bubbled up around the country where people where entrepreneurs were inventing new solutions to problems. And so much of our job as a think tank has been to generalize the experiences and the lessons of what local innovators do for national policy issues. So with that, thanks again for coming. I'm going to turn things over to Mike Signer, who is a senior fellow at PPI. He chairs our E3 initiative, which he will describe in a minute. He is a lawyer, an author, great books on foreign policy that I recommend to you, and an adjunct professor at Virginia Tech. He also didn't quite pass the Sand Rayburn test of having run for office, but he tried. He did run for office in Virginia's lieutenant governor's race last year and put in a very creditable showing, and I think in the course of that found a big public appetite among citizens in Virginia for actions that will move us more smartly into the clean energy future that we're all pushing for here. So without further ado, Mike, I'm going to turn the